The story begins in a galaxy filled with life. There were millions of worlds, each different, each beautiful in its own way. Some planets were covered in oceans, some in forests, some in endless deserts, and some in cities made of metal and light. Life existed everywhere. Creatures walked, flew, swam, and even floated in the air. Civilizations traded knowledge, art, and technology. Many species believed the galaxy was finally at peace. Then, the infection came. At first, no one noticed it. It did not arrive with explosions or warships. It arrived quietly, like a whisper moving through space. Ships traveling between stars carried it unknowingly. Signals sent across galaxies carried hidden codes. Even harmless-looking space dust carried invisible danger. The aliens who created the infection were ancient and highly intelligent. They believed the galaxy needed to be controlled, not destroyed. Their infection was their tool. The infection was not just a disease of the body. It attacked the mind, the emotions, and even the spirit of living beings. In some species, it caused madness. In others, it caused blind obedience. Some lost their memories. Some lost their ability to feel love or fear. Entire civilizations changed without understanding why. Friends turned against friends. Leaders made cruel decisions they would never have made before. Every species reacted differently. The water beings of the blue oceans became silent and stopped singing their ancient songs. The winged people of the high skies crashed into the ground, unable to control their thoughts. The stone-skinned giants became violent and destroyed their own cities. Machines that were once peaceful helpers turned into cold enforcers. The infection learned and adapted. If one species resisted, the infection changed its pattern and tried again. Scientists across the galaxy worked day and night. They studied samples, tested medicines, and built shields. Nothing worked for long. The infection was alive in its own way. It learned faster than any cure. When one planet found a solution, the infection changed before the solution could be shared. Hope slowly faded. Fear spread faster than the infection itself. Trade stopped. Borders closed. Planets isolated themselves. Some worlds destroyed their own spaceports to prevent contact with others. Many believed survival meant being alone, but the infection always found a way. It traveled through forgotten tunnels, ancient gateways, and even through dreams. People began to believe there was no escape. The alien creators of the infection watched from far away. They believed they were bringing order. In their minds, free will caused chaos. Emotions caused war. Love caused pain. Their infection removed choice and replaced it with control. A quiet galaxy, they believed, was a perfect galaxy. As years passed, almost every species fell. The galaxy became strangely calm. There were fewer wars, fewer arguments, fewer voices. But this calm was empty. Art disappeared. Music stopped. Laughter became rare. Planets still existed, but life had lost its color. Then rumors began to spread. Whispers passed from damaged ships and broken signals. There was one species that had not been infected. At first, no one believed it. Survival stories had appeared before, only to end in silence. But this time, the rumors continued. Ships arrived from distant systems carrying the same message. One species remained untouched. This species was not the strongest. They were not the most advanced. Their technology was simple compared to others. Their bodies were fragile. They aged quickly and lived short lives. Yet somehow, the infection could not take hold. This species was human. Humans lived on a small blue planet near the edge of a spiral arm. For a long time, the galaxy had ignored them. They fought among themselves, made mistakes, and struggled to survive. They were emotional, imperfect, and often afraid. No one expected them to be special. When the infection reached human space, something strange happened. Some humans felt fear, sadness, and confusion, but their minds did not break. The infection tried to remove emotions, but emotions fought back. It tried to control thoughts, but thoughts changed too quickly. Human minds were messy, full of contradictions, memories, dreams, and doubts. The infection could not find a stable pattern. Human scientists noticed the threat early. They argued, disagreed, and failed many times, but they did not give up. They shared information openly, even when they were afraid. Some humans sacrificed themselves to study the infection. Others used art, stories, and music to keep hope alive. Their emotional strength confused the infection. The alien approach tried a different strategy. It tried to turn humans against each other. It increased anger and fear. Wars almost started. But humans had faced this before. They argued, yes, but they also questioned themselves. Some chose kindness, even when hatred was easier. Some chose cooperation instead of power. These choices weakened the infection. The alien creators became curious. They focused all their attention on humans. They sent stronger versions of the infection. They sent agents to observe. They could not understand why humans resisted. Humans felt pain deeply, yet they kept going. They lost loved ones, yet they still loved. They knew life was short, yet they searched for meaning. One alien observer finally realized the truth. The infection failed because humans accepted suffering instead of denying it. Other species tried to remove pain completely. Humans learned to live with it. Pain became a teacher instead of an enemy. This made humans unpredictable and strong in a way the infection could not control. When humans discovered that the rest of the galaxy was infected, they faced a terrible choice. They could hide and protect themselves, or they could try to help others, even if it meant risking extinction. They chose to help. Human ships traveled to infected worlds. They did not arrive as conquerors. They arrived with open signals, sharing knowledge freely. They brought not only medicine, but stories, music, and memories. They reminded infected beings of who they once were. Some laughed again for the first time in years. Some cried, and that was enough to break the control. Humans learned that the infection weakened when beings remembered love, loss, and hope. These emotions created chaos inside the infection's control system. Slowly, cures began to work. Not perfect cures, but enough. The alien creators panicked. For the first time, their perfect order was breaking. They tried to destroy humans completely. Fleets moved toward Earth. Weapons were prepared. Humans did not respond with hate. They responded with understanding. They sent messages explaining why control would always fail. They shared their history, their mistakes, and their growth. Some alien leaders listened. Others did not. In the final conflict, humans did fight, but not to dominate. They fought to protect life. Many humans died. Many cried for them, but their sacrifice inspired others across the galaxy. Species that were once enemies stood together. The infection was finally destroyed, not by force alone, but by unity. The alien creators were defeated or changed. Some chose to learn. Others disappeared into the dark. The galaxy slowly healed. It was not perfect. Scars remained, but life returned. Music played again. Art was created again. Different species remembered what it meant to choose their own path. In the end, the galaxy survived
because one imperfect species refused to give up its humanity.